Here we are in the dark. No need to speak, no need.
Welcome back to the Baltimore Orioles franchise on MLB the Show. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all. What am I talking about? See y'all next time. We're just getting started. We've reached the All-Star game here, as you can see. So we're going to take a moment at the beginning of the episode here to look around the league at standings, stats, etc., as we typically try to do at this point in the season. And the Orioles are comfortably in the lead with a 5-game advantage in the American League East. However, we've been slipping lately in the win-loss column as far as our performance, and a lot of it has been our offense has started to struggle a little bit to plate runs. We're still hitting the ball and getting on base. We're just not coming up with the big hits when we need them. Hopefully nothing to be too concerned about in the long run, but just something to be aware of. Now, again, we're still in good position there. In the American League Central, the Indians have a 3-game edge on the White Sox. The Astros 5.5 up on the Angels. Look how bad the Mariners are. They are the worst team in the American League, with the Rangers challenging them for that crown. In the wild card as of right now, it would be the White Sox and the Angels. And then the Royals and A's 4.5 and 5.5 back. The Blue Jays hanging in there. That's not a bad record. 4 games over 500 at the break. You're still in it, but you're going to have to heat up a little bit down the stretch. Now, in the National League, it's the Mets in the NL East, 5 games up over the Nationals. The Cubs have a 5-game advantage in the Central, and look how bad the Marlins and Phillies are there. And then the Reds, look at the Pirates hovering around 500. Good to see. And then in the West, of course, it's the Dodgers. Nobody else even really close in that one. Look how bad the Padres are. That's kind of interesting. And then the Giants are terrible. Worst team in baseball, in fact. So that's a look around the league in terms of standings. We're going to take a look at our team statistics first, and then we'll go into some of the stats around the league as far as leaders, all-star voting, etc. So, sorting by OPS top to bottom, Rafael Devers, our free agent acquisition, has been awesome for us this year, so that's good. Now, Santander is having a breakout year. You look at what he's done historically, this is hands down his best season. Not only is the average way up, but he's already one shy of a career high for home runs, and we are just at the All-Star break. So that is a huge surprise, and look how much his ratings have been boosted as a result. I mean, he pretty much mashes left-handed pitching as of right now, and against righties, he's actually not that bad. So, like what we're getting from him, no question about that. Corey Seager, the average and the power numbers are down a little bit this year, but he's still been pretty good for us. Austin Hayes has cooled off a little bit, but still having his best season as a pro so far. Clay Hopkins has been swinging the bat well. The power numbers are never going to be something that are like, jump off the page. But he is getting on base, stealing some bases, and we like what we're getting from him. Trey Mancini has had a little bit of an up and down season, which is to be expected with a guy like him that strikes out as much as he does. But he's on track for about another 30 home run season, which is pretty good. Adley Rutschman is hitting .277, and he's got 7 home runs, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that already matches a career high. So that's good to see, and his average is higher than it's ever been at the end of a season. So we definitely like what we're getting from him. Mountcastle was not swinging the bat well early, but has really turned it on, and he's off to, now a pretty good first half at least, hitting .280 with 6 home runs. Would like to see the power numbers come up, but we'll take it. Shiner has been okay. He was swinging the bat a little bit better and then cooled off over the last few weeks, and he's not getting any walks. Like you see, his on-base percentage is just not very good, so need to see some improvement there. I like what we're getting from Bobby Witt Jr. Like I said, I think at the beginning of the season, if he can hit about 250 for the year, we'll take it. And he's also got 16 stolen bases, so you can't complain about that. Diaz has been a huge disappointment. 60 at bats, and he's only hitting 200 with one home run. Um, Not what we thought we were getting when we signed this guy, considering he's got pretty good attributes against lefties, and that's pretty much the only time he's playing. So he has been a disappointment for sure. Jorge Colon is having a sophomore slump, and that might be an understatement. He has started to swing the bat better the last couple of weeks, but still just hitting 230 on the year. He's got 19 stolen bases, and he's got the on base percentage up over 300. Considering how bad his average is, that's actually not that bad, but still need to see it come up. Ramon Urias, just 54 at bats, and he hasn't been all that good, but that's okay. We don't need him to be outstanding. Jahmai Jones has been a disappointment, just hitting 189. Like, what happened to this guy? He's been, pretty consistently good for us historically, so I'm a little bit surprised by what we're getting out of him. For pitchers, let's see here. Derek Gorman having a very good season as our left-handed middle reliever. So we're really happy with what he's done so far. John Means having an outstanding season, putting himself in the mix for the Cy Young Award. 10 wins at the break. The WHIP under 1, the ERA under 1 3/4, which is just outstanding. Now he's not striking a lot of guys out, but he never does. So we are absolutely thrilled with what he's doing for us. Syndergaard has been good, but not great. The last few weeks, he had a couple of rough starts where he was giving up more runs than like the rest of his stat line would suggest he should, and that ERA has gone up a little bit, but it's still very good. And he's an outside shot at a Cy Young if he can keep racking up some wins in the second half. Pablo Navarro, really happy with the WHIP, but too many home runs have been his issue. He's just given up big hits with traffic, and like other than that, he's been dominant. It's either nobody's getting on or somebody gets on and then they score. So, all in all, we'll take what he's doing. That WHIP where it is, and even the ERA where it is, I'm happy with that for a guy that's only 24 years old and a B potential with some serious upside. So we'll see how he turns out in the long run, but a good season for him so far. Travis Lakins has been pretty consistent for us. Ryan Weathers is having the kind of season that Milton Burns had last year, where he's been just like pretty good in just about every one of his starts. So really consistent. In fact, let's see. Can we look at, does it show quality starts? He's got 11 quality starts, which isn't that bad. Like, that's more than Pablo Navarro. So we'll take it. Now, Milton Burns has started to pitch better over the last few weeks, which is an awesome sign, but he's already got 9 losses on the year, and a lot of that was like his first 15 starts were mostly bad. Um, so, he's starting to get it together, and we'll see how he does on the back end of the season, but that's something to be a little bit concerned about. Grayson Rodriguez in long relief. Early on, he was doing really well, and a lot of it was when he was having to come in for Milton Burns. So there was a question as to whether I would stick him into the rotation and put Burns in the bullpen. But we hung with Burns, and I think in the long run, it's going to pay off. Roberto Osuna has been our biggest disappointment in the pitching staff this season. A close second would be Burns, but he has just been awful so far this year. The WHIP of 1.43, the ERA sitting up there above 3.5. Compared to how he has been over the last couple of seasons, it's just like night and day. He's already got 4 blown saves, which is more than he's had in either of the past 2 seasons for us. He has been pitching better lately, but definitely disappointed with what he's done for us so far. Dylan Tate's doing an okay job. The ERA is fine. The WHIP is up a little bit, but we'll take it. Paul Fry was doing pretty good at the beginning of the year and then has started to struggle over the last few weeks, or maybe really over about the last month. So we'll see if he can turn it around in the second half. And then Keegan Aiken has been pitching mostly mop-up role type innings and has not thrived. But the ERA isn't bad considering how high that WHIP is. So it doesn't really matter what we get out of him, because a lot of times if he's in the game, it's because we've already pretty much lost. So now we're going to look real quick at league leaders. We have nobody in the top window on this list, with Alex Bregman looking for a batting crown, hitting 351 at the break. Um, Home runs is Franmil Reyes, and then we've got Rafael Devers sitting there tied for 8th with 22. Not really thinking that he's a realistic candidate to win that, but interesting to see him up there in a couple of those key categories. There he is, 4th in RBIs. And then let's see, Bregman leading the league in runs. I've got 3 guys in the top 4 in stolen bases in the American League. That is really good. Even if I don't have a bunch of guys that are stealing bases, if I've got several that are a serious threat anytime they get on, and like Jahmai Jones isn't even up here because he's just never on base. But bottom line is we've got a lot of speed on this team and can use that to our advantage, especially when we get into critical games. We'll probably use that a little bit more. On base percentage is Bregman, and Trout having a pretty good season, as you can tell. He had an awful year last year relative to like Mike Trout type numbers, but a serious bounce back as he's hitting 336. He's got 25 homers at the break, which puts him on pace for about 40. So Mike Trout not going anywhere anytime soon. You still see his attributes way up there at a 97 overall, so that's interesting. He's got the best slugging in the league, best OPS in the league, tied with Bregman. Who's our best in this category? It's got to be Devers, 19th at an even 900. Most wins, J.C. Cloney with the Royals. When we faced the Royals, didn't he pitch against us? I can't remember. But look, I mean, his attributes aren't like terrible, but they're just kind of like John Means type attributes, and he is absolutely dealing this year. His second year as a regular starter in the majors, and he is thriving, putting himself in the discussion for potentially a Cy Young just because of how many wins he's got. So that's kind of interesting. Then we've got Syndergaard and Means sitting there with 10. Saves, Osuna would be higher on this list if he hadn't sucked all year. So there's that. John Means has the best ERA. Syndergaard is 5th on that list. Shutouts, Syndergaard has 5. John Means has 3. So we've got 3 of the top 5 or 3 of the top 4 in that category as well. So that's interesting. But having the top 2 and 5 shutouts at the All-Star break is kind of ridiculous in this day and age. He's third in strikeouts, rather, behind Bieber and McKay. He's got 5 complete games. John Means 4 complete games, and he's not a guy that has a ton of stamina, so that's kind of interesting. Syndergaard and Means top 2 in innings pitched, and there's Pablo Navarro at 7th. He was really consistent for us for most of the first half of the season and racked up a lot of innings as a result. And then we've got 3 of the top 6 in WHIP in the American League. So our starting rotation is definitely getting the job done. Pretty much our pitching in general has been pretty solid, with the exception of Osuna and Burns. So it's kind of interesting that our record isn't a little bit better, but it's a little bit misleading, I think, because lately we've just been missing out, losing a lot of close ball games. We've got Syndergaard and Means there, top in the league and 5th in the league, respectively, in pitching WAR. Nobody up there in batting WAR. In the National League, Harper's got the batting title in his reach. Home runs, also Harper. So he's looking at a triple crown, and it's not even close in the home runs. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody can catch him in the batting average. But look at this. I mean, he's 10 ahead of anybody else in the National League and 15 ahead of anybody else in RBI. So if he stays healthy, good chance he picks up a triple crown. Ozzy Albies runs. Geronimo Hernandez, right fielder for the Pirates. 27 stolen bases. Kind of interesting because he doesn't have like world-class speed, just good base running ability, which is a lot of times all it takes. Anyway, so good to see. Is he a rookie? No, he played last year with Minnesota for 8 games. So interesting. He might still qualify as a rookie this season if it were real life, but I don't think that's how they do it in MLB the Show. On base percentage is Harper, slugging and OPS also Harper. Wins, the Dodgers just continue to always have guys up there at the top of the pitching categories. Roman Wick, actually you got 4 guys tied for the most saves. DeGrom, a 1.48 ERA. Good Lord. Home runs, shutouts. We got a bunch of guys with 2. So to consider that nobody in the league is within 3 shutouts of Syndergaard, with the exception of John Means, who's also on our team. That's pretty interesting. There's DeGrom and Antonio Ramos. Look at this guy, 20 years old. 84 overall, B potential. Look at his stamina and his Ks per 9. Like, this guy's just racking up Ks, but he does give up some hits and some home runs. He's going to be fun to see how he turns out. Holy crap. That is interesting. Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers, you see there, 3rd in league in strikeouts. DeGrom, 3 complete games. He's leading the league in innings pitched. Leading the league in whip is Walker Buehler. And he is only, he's 29. So he's going to continue to be really good for the Dodgers for a while. So they lose Kershaw, and then he just steps in and takes over as the guy that dominates in that category. There's DeGrom way up there in pitching WAR, not even close. And Harper, no surprise that he's at the top of that list. We're also going to look real quick at team rankings. At just some of the key ones. We're 6th in batting average. We are 5th in runs. Home runs, 9th, not bad. Stolen bases, 6th. And we've got the best stolen base percentage, which has been something that's kind of normal for me. Now, walks, we are 26th. We just don't draw a lot of walks. But I imagine we don't strike out. Actually, we are striking out a fair amount. We're 13th on that list. What about on-base percentage? Yeah, we're down. Our average contributes to that, but the fact that we don't walk, that number's a little bit low. Let's see here. Defensive fielding percentage, we are... Holy crap, we're bad. 26th. Yuck. Come on, guys. ERA, 4th. So, what were we in runs? 5th? And then ERA, we're 4th. That combination means you're going to be pretty darn good. And that has translated for the most part. So we're 3rd best in total number of runs allowed. And 4th on the earned runs list. So, and we're keeping the ball in the ballpark there. You see 5th in home runs allowed. That's pretty darn good. Walks allowed, we are 6th. Strikeouts, I think we were toward the bottom of this list if I remember right. Yeah, 24th. So we're a team that pitches to contact for the most part, and it's working. So that's it for rankings. And honestly, I think that's most of what I want to cover in terms of stats, standings, etc. Actually, no, one more thing we'll look at is the awards voting and such. So if it ended today, the AL MVP would be Bregman. Cloney would get the Cy Young. There's Syndergaard. Reliever of the year. Rookie of the year. Brett. Nobody on there like setting the world on fire. I'm surprised it's not this guy because he's also leading the league in stolen bases, isn't he? Yeah, he's got 24 stolen bases. He'd be my rookie of the year. Putting up those kind of numbers at shortstop. Hank Aaron is Bregman. Gold Glove, we're not going to really worry about, and neither about Silver Slugger for right now. Let's get to the National League. Harper, no surprise. DeGrom, so that's an interesting race right there. See how that turns out. Bo Naylor, Rookie of the Year. And then here's this Ramos dude. But those are pretty good numbers right there. For a catcher, 271 with 10 dingers. 22 years old. That guy's going to be pretty good, I guess. But anyway, so that's that, and then we don't care about all these. So, all right, that'll do it in terms of a look around the league. We're actually going to play a game here in a second, so stand by. Actually, before we jump into the ball game, a quick update as far as All-Star voting as we are at the All-Star break. As you can see, John Means and Noah Syndergaard both elected as starting pitchers, with John Means the leading vote getter in that category. Kind of surprised that Adley Rutschman didn't get any love as far as catching, because these guys, the averages are terrible. The home runs are obviously a little bit more impressive, but would have liked to have seen Adley Rutschman get some recognition. Nobody at first, second. Third base is Rafael Devers, hitting .292 with pretty good power. And then in the outfield, we've got Anthony Santander going to the All-Star game, hitting .286 with 22 home runs at the break. So that's that, and now let's go out to some action. And we are going to Kaufmann Stadium in Kansas City, where the Orioles are going to take on the Royals, who are playing pretty good baseball at 53-44. The Orioles still in first place in the American League East, and looking to keep that pace going as we come out of the All-Star break. And it is going to be right-hander Brad Keller on the bump for the Royals. He's been pretty good for them so far this year, with the whip at 1.25, about the league average. The ERA at 3.71 is respectable, and he's 8-4 across 19 starts. Starting things off, it's Austin Hayes, hits a hard grounder to third. It's juggled, but he does recover, makes the throw to get him, and that's the first out of the ball game. And now we'll look at the Orioles lineup, as it's Hayes, then Colon, still swinging the bat a little bit better than he was earlier in the season. Seager, Devers, and Mountcastle in the middle. Then Mancini, Santander, and then Rutschman and Bobby Witt Jr. We might consider switching Mancini and Santander as the season goes on, but we'll see how that shakes loose. Now with 2 outs in the first, it's Corey Seager rips one into right, but Aaron Judge there to go up that one. And now we get a look at John Means. His numbers for the season have obviously been outstanding. He is, again, the leading vote getter for starting pitchers in the American League, and a heavy favorite for at least Cy Young contention at this point. Starting things off, he's going to get a swing and strike out there, and that's a good start for the veteran left-hander. Then it's Nicky Lopez, grounder to short, handled with ease, and Bobby Witt sends that over to Mancini playing first base today. Now we'll look at the Royals lineup, as it's Mejia at third, Nicky Lopez at short, then Judge, Benintendi, and Salvi in the middle of that order. So that's some dangerous, treachery to try and navigate there. Then McBroom, Olivares, Flores, and then Papierski will bat ninth in this one. Two-way now for Aaron Judge. He gets jammed on that one. Just a high pop-up on the infield, and that's routine can of corn there. Now on to the second. Another hard-hit grounder to third that Mejia juggles and again recovers, and he's going to get Mountcastle this time. Now on to the bottom of the second. Salvador Perez had a great at-bat here, fought off several pitches, and then eventually rips one down the left field line for a double into the corner. And then it's Olivares with 2 away, gets under that one, and that would be handled for the final out of the inning, and it's scoreless through 2. Both pitchers looking pretty good in the early going, and then here is Keller striking out Santander on a ball in the dirt that he couldn't lay off of. Then Adley Rutschman swings through a fastball up and in. Looked like he was on that, but just missed it. Now 2 Ks for Keller through 3 innings, and on to the third. Looked like a good pitch there by John Means. Does not get the call, and it's a 2-out walk to Mejia, who's got pretty good speed, and that would bring up Nicky Lopez with 2 down. A 2-1 pitch to him is lifted into shallow left center field. Hayes going to glove that one, and we are scoreless after 3. Now on to the fourth. It's, who is that? Mancini, or rather Austin Hayes again hits one down to third. This time Mejia able to knock it down, but not going to get anybody. Next batter, Jorge Colon, ground ball to short, behind the back to get the out at second, but they don't get Colon to complete the double play, and he's got speed, and there he goes. He's going to try and steal second. The pitch is high for ball 2, and he is into second, safe with his 22nd stolen base of the season. Now it's 2-2 pitch to Seager, ground ball to third. That's going to be the out at first, and now it's up to Rafael Devers with 2 down. And a full count pitch to him is outside. He goes with it a little bit, but just got under it. And a nice running grab in center field for the final out of the inning. So it's scoreless after 3.5. And Aaron Judge leads things off and with a 3-1 base hit up the middle. So a base runner here and a chance for the Royals. as they've got the leadoff man on. Then it's Benintendi, ground ball to second. They go 4-6-3 for a double play. And John Means back in control there. Now we go to the, two-way in the inning. It's Salvador Perez, swing and a miss, down on strikes, and 4 scoreless innings for both of these pitchers thus far, as just 3 hits combined between these two different teams. And then I think a walk peppered in there. But not much offense going on in this one, but now a chance for the Orioles again, as they've got the leadoff man on. Now 2-1 pitch to Mancini, hit it hard, but right at him at second, and that's tailor-made for a 4-6-3 twin killing. And then it's up to Anthony Santander with two-way. He got a pitch to hit there, but he just missed it. He flies out just shy of the warning track for the final out of the inning. Now on to the bottom of the 5th. It's a base hit on a jam shot there into right field, and the leadoff man is on. Now a 2-2 pitch to Olivares. That ball was on a rope up the middle and into center field. Now first and second. Still nobody out, and it's Wilmer Flores. 2-2 pitch, ground ball to second. They go 4-6. Can they get the double play? They can. That hurts, as now it's 2 down and a runner on third, and it's up to the 9-hitter, and Papierski hits it up the middle, but Bobby Witt Jr. there to cut it off, fires to first to end the threat, and we're scoreless after 5. Now Bobby Witt Jr. here in the top of the 6th. That goes under the glove of Mejia at third. He's having a rough time down there. They called that a hit. That looked like an error to me. Then it's with 1 away. Austin Hayes hits one deep to left field, but it's not going to get down. A nice running grab there for the second out, and then Bobby Witt Jr. picked off to end the inning, as he was probably thinking about trying to steal to get into scoring position with 2 down. On to the bottom of the 6th with 2 away. Aaron Judge, grounder to short, and it's a 1-2-3 6th. Now to the 7th, 2 outs for Rafael Devers, popped up on the infield. Another scoreless inning of work for Brad Keller. John Means says, anything you can do, I can do too, as it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th, and we are scoreless headed to the 8th inning here in Kansas City. Keller still out there. It's Montcastle, lines one right at the first baseman. That's the first out of the inning. Then it's Trey Mancini, 2-2 pitch. That ball's hit well. A diving stop at second, and they're going to get the out. Now 2 away in the inning. Nice play there, and then it's 2 down for Santander. Turns on one. Looked like that ball was just going to be a routine foul ball, but they were playing him to pull, and Aaron Judge able to run it down and grab it on the fly. That's going to do it for John Means, as you see Dylan Tate coming out of the bullpen to start the 8th inning here. The right-hander has a 3.89 ERA so far this season. First batter he faces is down on strikes. We haven't seen a lot of strikeouts so far in this one, but there's 2 in a row as he gets Flores unable to hold off on that one, chased one in the dirt. And now on to the top of the 9th, where Jacob June is going to come on and take over for Keller, who went 8 scoreless innings in this one. Junis has a 4.08 ERA, a guy that's kind of a long relief type role. And there you see the numbers for Brad Keller: 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 99 pitches on the day. So again, not racking up a lot of strikeouts, but he was very effective in this one. Now 2 outs in the inning. It's Austin Hayes, couldn't hold up on that one. They send it down to first, and that's it for the Orioles. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and here comes Paul Fry. The veteran lefty has struggled over the last month or so. His ERA now up over 4, and it's a leadoff walk to start the inning, and it's Eric Mejia, who's got great speed as well, so a really good opportunity for the Royals. They're going to bunt to try and get him into scoring position, and it works as the sacrifice is successful. Now it's a runner on second with 1 away. They're going to pitch around, actually intentionally walk Aaron Judge to set up the double play, and it's Andrew Benintendi. Had a hanger there, but just missed it. A high fly ball into right field. Santander able to get sort of a running start there, and they hold the runner at second. So now 2 down, and Salvador Perez took a changeup right down the middle on a 1-2 pitch. Not sure what he was looking at there, but a mistake by Fry, and he got away with it. Now we go to the top of the 10th. So the runner on second is Austin Hayes. A fly ball to center, and he is going to tag and just gets in ahead of the throw at third. So aggressive decision there, but it pays off, as on the next batter, it's Corey Seager lifting a fly ball into left. That's going to be deep enough for Hayes to tag. Here comes the throw. It is not going to be in time, and the Orioles strike first. It's 1-0. with 2 outs in the 10th. And now we go to the bottom of the 10th, and Roberto Osuna coming on out of the bullpen. He was awful the first month or two of the season, but has been really good since, and now has that ERA down to a respectable 3.3, and we expect it to get lower, and it is going to, as McBroom is down on strikes. That was just 3 pitches, and he chased an ugly one there. Then it's 0-2 to the next batter. A weak ground ball to short. That's going to advance the runner, but now 2 down, and it is up to Wilmer Flores, the veteran second baseman, lifts a fly ball to right on the first pitch of the at-bat. And that's handled by Santander, and the Orioles are going to win this thing 1-0 in 10 innings. An absolute pitcher's duel in this one. Nobody able to really get much offense going, despite there not being really a lot of strikeouts. So it's kind of interesting. 1 inning of work for Osuna. He gets player of the game, picking up the save. Paul Fry went 1 inning and gets the win. Jacob Junis, 2 innings of work, didn't allow a hit or a walk, and is saddled with the loss and an earned run because of the extra innings rule, which I just absolutely do not like, just as a matter of note. We'll take a look at the box score here, but there's not much to speak about, as the Orioles only had 2 hits and a walk the entire day. They only struck out 3 times. Hits were for Hayes and Bobby Witt Jr., so bookend singles for them in this one. Colon stole his 22nd base of the season. John Means was really sharp in this one, and then the bullpen was outstanding. Paul Fry walked a couple of guys. One of those was intentional, but he got the job done and actually gets the win in this one. And then Osuna with his 26th save of the year. The Royals had just 4 hits, 3 walks. They struck out 6 times. The only extra base hit was for Salvador Perez, his 14th of the year. Keller was outstanding. Junis pitched well, but unfortunately gets saddled with the loss because of the couple of fly balls he allowed in the 10th inning, and that will do it for this one. The Orioles win it 1-0. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.